I was a medical mystery with a condition that affects 1 in 100 teenagers in this country. I'm a teenager with a common medical condition that is so misunderstood and so widely unknown. Here's the problem. POTS is not taught in medical school, it is rarely seen during residency, and it is not in any textbook anywhere. So unfortunately, the only doctors that can help are ones that have educated themselves or ones that have learned about POTS from their patients. POTS is a diagnosis that some like to say comes last, after everything else has been considered, and often by mistake or because the patient brought it up. This can be backed up by the evidence stating that it takes the average POTS patient 4 years and 7 different doctors to get diagnosed. I really hope that that shocked you, because frankly, even as a patient who went through 5 doctors over 13 months, hearing that statistic was very shocking and truthfully a little bit disgusting. When I read stories from other patients and read up on recent POTS diagnostic literature, I form these simple open-ended questions, like how or why. I'll be frank and tell you that after arguing with doctors for over a year, I've been left with this permanent emotional scar when it comes to speaking up about new symptoms. Even though I made it to the other side and got my diagnosis, I struggle every day with self-doubt over if my symptoms are real or bad enough. And those thoughts are because of all the doctors that told me there was nothing wrong, when in fact something was very, very wrong. I wish more than anything that some doctors didn't have the power to strip patients of their confidence in themselves, but the truth is some of them do. I'm usually very well spoken to my medical team, but when the possibility of a new problem arises, I can come across very scared, timid, and often in denial. It's plain and simple. I lost so much of my confidence in myself and how I perceive anything that throws my body out of equilibrium. So if I could change one thing about medicine, I would wish that physicians could never have the power to make a patient feel like their symptoms are invalid. I wish that as a patient, my emotions regarding my illness weren't so foreign to many of my doctors. I'm so very lucky, though, to have found a team of physicians over the years that have been understanding to my situation and my previous trauma. And I feel so very grateful to teach them something new about how to treat a teenager like me every time I walk through their door. That part of my story is something that I rarely talk about. Being able to stand up here and say that medicine has hurt me just as much as it has helped me is a hard thing for me to say. But that is the truth, and I've learned to embrace that part of my story, and in fact, it has been the part that motivates me to go out and change the world.